Okie dokie, here we go ski. Friday night party night. And hello, home for the elderly. Oh, wait, where's the thing to make comments appear on screen? And thank you for your feedback. Yes, Heine Nelson was leading an attack that was trying to take a position held by Spanish forces, and he got several hundred of his men killed, and his right arm was so badly injured it needed to be amputated. And they chucked it overboard, although apparently he wanted to keep it. So that's fun. All right, so I am going to dive straight in and do... Wait, why is it? Sorry, there's a notification thingy on here. Oh, that's it. All right, I hate seeing sort of a red thing for notifications. It's like, no, go away. I need to see the thing that's causing the notification, and I want the notification to go away. Okay, I'm going to jump straight in and make this video, which I have scripted, because that's the thing I want to do from now on. Be a goddamn professional. Right. Oh, wait, am I looking for sent mail? I am. Okay. Okay, I got a script. Going to set it. So. Bring this in. Okay. Oh, wait. That's actually... I used to keep this whiskey in the cupboard, and now I've brought it out. I think I want to finish it. Watkins whiskey. A dry gin. I need a dry gin. Archery's bone rye. And I need this rum. And apple brandy. Dive! Apple brandy. Okay. All right. So, that's all I need to make what were my favorite cocktails in 20... Okay, that's actually too much. Which one's first? Apple brandy and rum. Sweet vermouth and Benedictine. Okay. These 3 bottles temporarily go aside. Maybe over here. Hey Celtic, how are you going? Okay, let's bring the microphone all the way over here. Okay. the camera. Revolution is just a t-shirt away. Okay. Und the GoPro. Because we will mecca the cocktails. I've got stuff sitting over here. Actually, this... Okay. Something I should have done ages ago. Move all this stuff that I usually don't use. Just put it over here. Torch. I put the atomizer here to remind myself I've got it. Straws. Right. All this stuff over here. Out of the way. Less clutter on here. Okay. I want Benedictine. Into the mysterious cupboard of mystery. There's the Benedictine. Because both these recipes want Benedictine. Okay. Whew. That's a lot of faffing about. Your cold week in Perth been pretty freaking cold you too, buddy. Okay, let us go then, you and I. You know what? I'm going to boot a bit and bring the mic in here. And yes, this is the old 100% test. If I'm being a bit more forceful, what difference does that make? Okay. Okay, so. Oh, you know what? I think I want to make the cocktails first. Okay. So. 2 Nick and Nora glasses. Let's get them chilling. Okay. So they're chilling. That mixing glass out there. And let's get everything ready. Okay. One ounce of apple brandy. this? 1 3/4 ounce of sweet vermouth. Okay, got the first couple ready. The last thing we want is the light. Okay, let's do this. Turn that on. I think we'll just get to it. Okay, apple brandy, rumsky, sweet vermouth, Benedictine, and a dash of aromatic bitters. Okay. Let's turn that off momentarily. Ooh, that glass does feel nice and cold now. Even a bit more ice in there for the stirring. Okay. Yeah, okay, let's start again. Let's start again. Smells very rummy over here. Yep, some ice escaped. Okay. And that's there. And we want to pour the glass. All right. That is cocktail number 1. So I also need to not get these mixed up, because I can just see that happening, quite honestly. That's number 1. Okay, so want to move these 3 and get the other 3 bottles. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay. That's out of the way. Okay, bring these 3 bottles over. Whew. Don't take one of those over without a lid. That was foolish. Who doesn't have a lid? Sweet vermouth does not have a lid. All right, no. Let's get this one ready. Get ready, because here I come now. Okay, so this one. Get some whiskey ready. And Punt Emez. Okay, and orange bitters. Want orange bitters. Are they ready? All right, where are we? Let me go there. Slow-mo. All right. Let's go with the ingredients. Go whiskey. Dry gin. Put MS und the Benedictine and the orange bitters. Jesus, that was clumsy. Okay. Turn that off. Now we have this one. And thirsty eyes. That's fine. Let's stir. Okay. And let's pour this in. Okay. So that's the close-ups. I gotta do a thumbnail. Who's that? Hello, Lisa. Sorry, I'm making a cocktail video. Take me about another 10 minutes. All right, let's put this stuff here. Actually, let's temporarily put that over there. Because I am, now that's number 2, number 1. Because they look so similar. I'm going to bring all the bottles up so I can talk about them. Join the struggle, won't you be? The revolution is just a t-shirt away. Waiting for the great leap forwards. Top of the stop soon, drawing the door. Waiting for the great. Actually, you know, I don't need the sweet vermouth. No, they are different colours, which is nice. All right, let's just take a photo or two for safety. Okay. All right, got my script. Time to put this light over here. Oof. Look at me just trying desperately to fuck something up here. Ah! God damn it. For the 1000th time, I'll talk about needing to replace that bit and never do it. Okay, so this is going right up there. All right, let's get our camera happening. God, I'm so used to turning on the Zoom, I'm just reaching for it. G'day, cocktail lovers. Now, if you're a normal person, just a cocktail enjoyer, welcome. Glad you're here. Hope you enjoy the video and the cocktails. But you probably, well, let's say you maybe buy some cocktail books. You might search for cocktail recipes online. But, you know, you'll just find a couple of cocktails that you like making. If you're a weirdo like me who makes videos about cocktails on the internet, you will try so many recipes. You will constantly be looking for new things to make for content, and you will try several new recipes every week. The upside of this is all that exploration is going to lead to you finding some really interesting cocktails and cocktails that are new to you that you'll like. Over the course of a year, I'll probably find a dozen or more completely new to me cocktails, variations on classic cocktails. And I just think top tier, these are awesome. And out of those, there will be a couple that over the course of the year I go, oh man, I think this is my new favorite. This is fantastic. The downside of this, if it's a downside, is I go through so many cocktails, I end up forgetting that I found one that I thought was my new favorite. Like the veritable tsunami of cocktails drive it out of my mind. And in a couple of months, I've forgotten I ever found a new favorite. I was reminded of this recently when someone commented on an old video and I went, oh, this one. I declared this my favorite. And I don't think I've even had it in years. What's that all about? I need to try this cocktail again. With that in mind, I'm going to remake and retry. I hate those words. With that in mind, I'm going to revisit my favorite cocktails from 2021 and 2022. And that I have not had these since 2021 and 2022. They're both Manhattan variations. At their core, they're using the Manhattan template. It's a great template. Classic Manhattan, totally straightforward. 2 parts whiskey, 1 part sweet vermouth, dash or 2 of bitters. The classics are classics for a reason. They've stood the test of time. It's a good, balanced drink. But some people get really persnickety about that. They go, don't you dare do anything to modify that classic recipe. You've got to make it exactly like this. I need to share this with you. When you come across people like that, ignore them. Better still, get the hell away from them. They're uptight, they're closing themselves off from new experiences, and I assume they just lead completely miserable lives. Don't be like that. Oh, it's a car coming. Let's go. Bartenders have always tweaked the template of classic cocktails, going back more than 100, 150 years. It's what they do. They go, well, this works. Ooh, but what if I did a little bit of this and a little bit of that? Is that going to work? This is how we get new cocktails. And for anyone who thinks it's sacrilege to mess with classic cocktails, the reason we have thousands of cocktails is an unending line of bartenders who went, I'm going to play with that. There's 5 or 6 templates, but I can do something with that. While these 2 cocktails I'm going to make are very much following the Manhattan template, in both cases, there's a split on both the spirit and the modifier side. So there's more flavors coming into these. All right. First up, my favorite cocktail from 2021. It's called the Woodson and Ford. And the spirit base in this is split between apple brandy and rum. The original recipe I saw said, I used layers bonded in. That was my first fuck up, I think. Anyway, probably because I'm following a script. First up, my favorite cocktail from 2021. It's called the Woodson in Ford. The spirit element of this is split between 2. It goes with apple brandy and rum. The original recipe I saw said to use Laird's bottled in bond apple brandy or applejack. That's impossible to get in Australia. It's 50% ABV rather than the usual 40% for brandy. So I'm going with, this is actually a French Calvados. It's 40%, but so I'm going with a stronger one. The rum is a 50% ABV. This is from local distillery Jimmy Rum. This recipe has sweet vermouth in it, but it's split with Benedictine, a herbal liqueur. So it's going to be both more herbal and a little bit sweeter than just sweet vermouth in the drink. Along with a dash of bitters, that's all our ingredients. So now I'm going to show you how to make a Woodson and Ford. In a mixing glass, put 1 ounce or 30 mils of apple brandy, then 1 ounce or 30 mils of rum, then 3/4 of an ounce, around 22.5 mils of sweet vermouth, 1/4 of an ounce or 7.5 mils of Benedictine, and then 1 dash of aromatic bitters. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and I'm straining that into a chilled Nicanora glass. Oh, I've also got to remember to do a little speaking bit for a short. I want to do a short. Okay. That gives us the Woodson in Ford. It looks pretty much like a Manhattan, but do I remember what it tastes like? Okay. That is why I like this. I tell you what, that rum is a really bold rum. It might be overpowering it a little, but I like rum, so that's okay. This might be even better with a bit of a milder rum, but it's pretty good. I know why I liked it back in 2021. Now for the short. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is called a Woodson and Ford, and it was my favorite cocktail in 2021. And I realized I basically haven't had it since 2021. So, hell, I got to make it again. But is it as good as I remember? Ooh, that is pretty damn good. It's a Manhattan variation. It's got some really bold flavors. I'll show you how to make it. There's always new cocktails to discover, but don't forget your old favorites. I'm revisiting my past. Maybe there's something from your past you should make. Have an experiment, have a go, enjoy yourself, and I'll catch you later. Cheers. God, that was terrible. Now for my favorite cocktail of 2022. This is called Death and Taxes. It was created at the Milk and Honey Bar in New York, but the bartender who made it was an Australian, and he came back to Australia. He opened a bar here in Melbourne, where I live, called the Everly, and that's when the drink really got popular and became well known. As I said, this is another Manhattan variation. This splits the spirit element between whiskey and gin. The original recipe said blended scotch. I have to admit, I think that's really meaningless. It's not like blended scotch is a magical thing or it's one thing. So I say just go with the whiskey you like. I'm using this. This is actually from Queensland. It's a very unusual bottle for whiskey, which actually put me off trying it for a while, but it's actually very good. Watkins whiskey, and we're going with a dry gin. This cocktail also has Benedictine splitting the modifier, and we're replacing sweet vermouth with Punta Mez. If you're not familiar with this, it's often described as a full-bodied or robust vermouth. It is essentially sweet vermouth blended with a bitter liqueur. So just in terms of flavor, think it's sweet vermouth, but more intense flavors and just a little bit of bitterness. This cocktail also uses orange bitters, but that's all our ingredients, so I'll show you how to make it. In a mixing glass, put 1 ounce or 30 mils of the whiskey of your choice, then 1 ounce or 30 mils of dry gin, then 3/4 of an ounce, around 22.5 mils of Punta Mez, and 1/4 of an ounce or around 7.5 mils of Benedictine, rounding things out with 2 dashes of orange bitters. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and I'm straining that into a chilled Nick and Nora glass. So this is the Death and Taxes. It's darker than the Woodson and Ford. Let me give it a taste. Again, I think this is a little bit smoother. The Punta Mez is really coming through. Just a little tang of bitterness in there actually works really well. I'm not super fond of bitter drinks. Like I can't handle Campari. I'll never have a Negroni. But this has just got a really light element of bitterness in it. That's a great contrast with the other flavors. Now, got to do the little talky bit for another shot. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is called Death and Taxes. This was my favorite cocktail in 2022, and I don't think I've had it since 2022. It's revisit old favorites this week. So I've made this. It's time to give it a taste. Is it as good as I remember? This is a Manhattan variation. I feel like it's got a richness that sets it apart from a standard Manhattan. And there's just this little bit of bitterness because you use Punta Mez instead of sweet vermouth. And there's a little bitter element in Punta Mez. But I'll show you how to make it. I'm glad I remembered that this used to be my favorite because I'm always trying new cocktails. Sometimes you got to go back. You got to go back to your old favorite and go, oh, yeah, that's why I liked it. And for me, the Death and Taxes, I forgot its fucking name. Fuck. The Death and Taxes is a great Manhattan variation. So if you like a Manhattan, and if you like a Negroni, that little bit of bitterness, I thoroughly recommend you try this. I'm glad I went back to it. The Death and Taxes. Cheers. Okay. I'm not going to make it any more videos tonight. Going to sit down and talk to everyone. I've got to turn this off. Oof, turn this light off. It's too bright. Sit down, laddie. Okay, bring the microphone back over here. And I have 2 drinkies. You know what? I'm going to pour them over ice, even though that's not what you do. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Okay. What have you all been doing? Scarlett, hello. How long ago were you there? Oh, no, you just got here. Cool. I was making a video for my cocktail channel. Oh, nice. Hopefully the elderly having a boozed up coffee. Glad you're good, Scarlett. Thank you for joining me, even if it's only for a moment. Welcome. Nice pizza for party night. I almost got takeaway tonight, actually, but then I had one of my microwave U foods, and it was good. It was fine. I might get takeaway tomorrow night. I'm not going to string tomorrow night. I'm going to hang out with Mrs. Angry, and I might get some takeaway. We'll see. And hello, Madam Butterfly and Pat. Let's how's the streaming going? Well, Scarlett, what are we? Got half an hour in, and I'm just 40 minutes in. And I'm just sitting down properly to chat. Oh, Safa, I mentioned my dinner before you ever asked. And Noog, excellent question. What takeaway will I get? I'm thinking burger. There's a burger place I haven't tried, and there's a burger place I have tried that's really good. What will I do? Scarlett, I tend to stream on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and sometimes on Saturday and Sunday. I normally only stream on Sunday during summer. And that's all around my domestic situation. So there's been a bit of rain this week. Oh gosh, Scarlett, okay. Why is it that everyone who joins from Twitch is on the hustle? Because I think I know where you're going next, Scarlett. And I don't begrudge you that. I'm not criticizing you. Why don't I customize my stream? Because I don't take it very seriously, quite honestly. Like this thing with the comments is a new feature from StreamYard. So it's the whole thing. Oh, you were on a train last night, Safa. I did miss you. Yes, Pat, Hulk Hogan's dead. He was big in wrestling circles. He was also a piece of shit. He was a bad person. But I don't want to upset anyone who's a Hulk Hogan fan because I don't care that much. So, like, I feel like there were a lot of famous people died recently, or is that my imagination? Man, Dick Van Dyke's gotta die soon. He's 100. But goddamn, like I saw there was a clip recently, just in the last year. He did this music video with Coldplay. It's on YouTube. Dude's 100, and he's completely switched on. God, I think he's in better shape than me, quite honestly. Ooh, I like that on ice, actually. It's smoother on ice. Nice. Nice on ice. Yes, Safa, that singer guy. That singer guy. Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, who's Chuck Mangione? I know that name. Yeah, Noog, I reckon you're right. Dick Van Dyke beat the devil in a fiddle contest. Oh, yeah. I mean, okay. And again, I don't want to upset anyone like Ozzy Osbourne. He was doing a bunch of Zionist shit, although I think that's mainly Sharon. But, I mean, honestly, Ozzy was a much bigger force. Like, seriously, the first Black Sabbath album lays claim to be the first true heavy metal album. It was something genuinely new when they did it. And yes, you can argue that it was a progression and an evolution, but damn, the scale of the influence the first Black Sabbath album had. So, okay, this cocktail is way fucking better on ice. Damn. Pat, I am fine. How are you today? Safa. I think it's safe to say Ozzy Osbourne cut at least a decade from his life with drugs and alcohol. But I'm also like, how is Keith Richards not dead yet? Also, I don't know, when was the last time he was in public? Because I feel like his shit would catch up with him. I was reminded of Shane McGowan from the Pogues, who died a few years ago. Same year as Sinead O'Connor. In fact, they weren't that far apart. That was a tragic time for lovers of Irish culture and music because they were both such significant figures and they died not that far from each other. But Shane McGowan was a notorious alcoholic and like also notorious for how his teeth were rotting away in his head. And he eventually got dentures and he looked much better. And I saw an interview that was only a few years before his death. And he was far more coherent than he had any right to be, quite honestly. And I thought, wow, how is he still that coherent? And then before he died, I did see another interview on YouTube. I don't know what show it was from, but he was definitely Mr. Acquired Brain Injury at that point. Whether he had had a stroke or multiple strokes or the alcohol was just catching up with him, it was like, it was classic acquired brain injury behavior, like just slurring speech and whatnot. And that was a bit sad, but also not particularly unexpected, you have to admit. So it did catch up with him somewhat before he died. Sinead O'Connor may have died before McGowan, but it was the same year. Here's the thing. I think one of the Pogues Australian tours was a low point for Shane McGowan. By the end of it, he was like lying down on the stage, pissed. But yeah, actually, speaking about him and Sinead O'Connor, there's the Pogues did soundtrack for the Sid and Nancy movie, and there was the theme song was called "Haunted," and Caitlin O'Riordan did the lead vocals for that. As for those who don't know, there was a female member in the Pogues, and I quite liked it. A lot of people didn't, but anyway. On YouTube, I found Sinead O'Connor and Shane McGowan did a cover of Haunted. Well, is it a cover? Shane McGowan wrote it. They did a version of it. And in fact, the rhythms and the lyrical styling of Sinead, very different to Caitlin O'Riordan. In fact, it's absolutely beautiful. But Jesus, I feel like it was done at a low point for Shane McGowan because he's not adding anything. He's slurring and monotoning. And I say this as someone who fucking loved Shane McGowan and the Pogues. Anthony, you're saying O'Connor got McGowan off the H. Yeah, well, that's good. She was a good person. But again, life was too much for her. It's just like the level of fucking trauma that was visited on her was just, ugh. And it got too much for her. Oh, the English and Irish lines are playing at the MCG, so there'll be drunk Brits and Irish in the CBD tomorrow. Oh my God. Home for the Early. Rum, Sodomy, and the Lash is such a good album. It's fucking incredible. It's their second album, I think. I mean, I just love the Pogues. I love all their albums. Rum, Sodomy, and the Lash is such a good fucking album. A lot of people would argue that's their high watermark because they're only their second album. But the first album, Red Roses, for me is really good. The one time I saw them live, the first time they toured Australia, I saw them at the Enmore Theatre. It was for the album If I Should Fall from Grace with God, which again, fucking incredibly good album. Safar, I love Star Wars, mate. Yes, no, Rum. Wasn't it Churchill who was disparaging the Navy, saying their motto should be rum, sodomy, and the lash. I feel like that's where it comes from. I feel like it was a Churchill thing. Pogue Mahone. For anyone who doesn't know, Pogue Mahone is a Guerilla insult attack. It translates as "kiss my ass," and so yeah, just as a joke, they called themselves the Pogues. Did the Pogues have live album? When Shane MacGowan wasn't absolutely scuttered, they were fucking great. You'll see in the later albums, because even on the first album, people other than Shane MacGowan sang a song or two, but you'll see in the later albums more songs are sung by people apart from Shane MacGowan, because he was just getting fucked up on booze and the gear. Mind you, one of their later albums, my all-time favorite not sung by Shane MacGowan song, Lorelei, is absolutely beautiful. So, speaking of Churchill, which UK ministers are in Sydney? I haven't been paying attention. Nook forgot to add this. Letting Mountbatten send commandos into industrial, would you? Jesus Christ. You can find some bad shit about Mountbatten and Churchill, honestly. Safa, what decade was it? The 80s was probably the Pogues. Actually, I won't even say probably. The 80s was the Pogues' biggest decade. Pogues Mahone is the song "I'll Love You to the End." I'm not even that familiar with that one, Billy. Like, oh god, I just love so many Pogue songs. And yeah, I do love the Shane MacGowan ones. The early ones, Pair of Brown Eyes, Dirty Old Town, what is it, Rainy Night in Soho, London Girl, and oh god, like the album they released for the tour where I saw them, If I Should Fall from Grace with God. That's a good track. Turkish Song of the Damned. I could probably look at Pogue's albums and just go, yeah, sorry, I love all these songs. Nug. That's one way of looking at it. Mountbatten got to be the first royal astronaut, thanks to a helping hand from the IRA. Safa, no, Sinead O'Connor, the 80s was also her biggest decade. But they both kept performing and releasing stuff. Yeah, isn't it Home for the Elderly? The fact that Shane MacGowan looks like such a rough nut fuck up, but he was a fucking poet. Like, there was an EP, 4-track, 12-inch called Poetry in Motion. And yeah, a book of his lyrics was published and it was just called Poetry. He was literally a fucking poet. He was incredible. But again, God, that's the Irish tradition. The self-destructiveness with alcohol and the poetic soul who, just because of, fucking life, runs themselves into the ground. Oh, Jesus Christ. What are you saying, Safa? Eggs, pasta for dinner, chocolate, waffles, and pretzels for dessert. Damn, Safa's living the high life. Oh, Safa, it's not just... is it like your Russian heritage? It's notorious in Russia. I feel like there's a spiritual bond between Russia and Ireland with that whole poet soul being destroyed by alcohol. Okay, you know what? Both of those cocktails really benefited from being on ice. Oh God! If we want to talk about this, God, I feel like I could just look up lyric after lyric from Shane McGowan, and they're just so beautiful. So for you reckon you get along with Aussie drunks? I think Australia's got the Irish influence. I think that's where the Australian drinking culture comes from, our Irish heritage. Mm. Fuck yes. So I'm bringing up the free Epic Games. Let me bring this up. I don't have time to game. Mrs. Angry is still doing Diablo 2 and enjoying it. It's like she spent so long grinding because she was paranoid about fighting the bosses. So she overpowered herself so much that she finally thought, I'll try the boss. And she just fucking wiped the boss. And because this is like the remastered Diablo 2, so you've actually got multiple bosses, and she's just every time she goes, I think I'll try a boss, and she just fucking wipes the floor with the boss. I love it. Hope the older you're like a dragon. You're hoarding games. You only play 1 in 20, but you've got them all. Again, I even when I say I'm not gaming, I've got at least a dozen games that I haven't played or haven't played all of. Look, should I get handheld gaming? Oh God, I'm kind of obsessed with some puzzle games on my phone. Also, isn't that that's a street art thing in Melbourne? And I just freaking love it. That's my phone wallpaper. But I'm particularly obsessed with Royal Match, which is I call the Nervous King game. You just got to do pattern matching on it. It's Candy Crush. It's a variant of Candy Crush. And you just got to go like, ooh. And I got to do this. And that. And these. And and it really, well, I say it hooks you. It hooks me because it offers you all these bonuses. It's like, ooh, if you played it lots and finished all these levels, you get these bonuses. And it's like it's meaningless. It's power-ups in the game. It's stuff that doesn't mean anything outside of the game. And when you get like different badges or skins or whatever, it's just like God, it's literally just pixels on a screen. It's not real. It doesn't mean anything. And yet I will just really go for it. It's like, yes, I want to get those bonuses. I fucked up there. God, that wasn't even close. It's like you get a limited number of moves to finish a level. That one wasn't even close. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2. Fucking love that game. Oh my God. I was watching one of my favorite role players on Twitch uh, who has multiple characters in the Red Dead Redemption 2 roleplay servers. She brought back my favorite of her characters, and I watched it for a couple of hours today. Fucking cool. No, home fidelity, I do not have a tablet. Just have the phone. Yum. Also, a certain lucky boy may have got some stuff sent off in the mail today. And I'll tell you what. This is this year's blood orange liqueur. I don't know how well that color's coming across on the thing. This is a fucking incredible color. Like, okay, so I made the blood orange liqueur. I decanted it last night, or debarreled it last night, and it looked and tasted really good. But it overfilled the bottle, and so I poured it into another bottle, and the second bottle kind of had. It sounds awful if I say like scum on it, but it was like because it was real oranges in it. I think it was like residue from the oranges. So I thought, oh, I want to see if I like the one that I was keeping here looked great, just looked really orangey, was a nice color. And but this second bottle, the last bit, had yeah, for want of a better word, this sort of scummy stuff. And I think it was just some solids from the oranges. So I thought I'm just going to pour it through a coffee filter. Um, and it looked fantastic. It looked so beautiful coming through the coffee filter. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm going to pour the other one that I'm going to keep in the bar here through the coffee filter because it was looking orangey and it kind of was the color of orange juice. And now it's not quite finished, but going through the coffee filter, it's gotten redder because this is blood orange. It had blood orange juice in it. There's a real clarity to it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's good. So yes, I did actually. I had already I had fulfilled your Discord request before I saw it. So yeah. Oh God, yes, Safa. I saw because I've been getting emails from the Melbourne Post Office about robberies because I've got a post box there, and they don't seem to have stolen my Toby mail because I got so much Toby mail. There's like 50 I haven't opened. Toby's a madman, which I fucking love. Yeah, no, Heine, there were like apparently 4 separate robberies at the post boxes in the Melbourne CBD. Yeah, no, I'm really keen for you. I'm hoping you get. Yeah, no. Your package just arrived in the last couple of days. Home for the Elderly. The robberies were like last week or the week before. Safra, I didn't do you foods on stream because you weren't here, mate. I did it myself today. Celtic, you're here. Oh my god, I love you, man. Oh my god, I was reading the Bible comics you printed out for me today. Class stuff. But now that Celtic's still here, you sent me an actual Bible. Well, I have had a notification. There's more stuff. I'll pick up on Monday or Tuesday. All right, but what's in here? Ooh, what is in here? I haven't seen this pamphlet before. Little booklet. Jesus shows us who God is. Why is there a hand on there? He is gracious, merciful, patient, forgiving, just, holy. But there's a problem. Yeah, the problem is he's not real. The problem is God is good. Because he's good, he hates sin. Because God's goodness is infinite, his hatred of sin is infinite. These people are fucked up. God's hatred of sin is infinite. This is a problem because we're sinners. Oh my God. These people are crazy. I love it. Thank you for sending me these, Kelty. Yeah, Justin, a lot of people say that fastest way to be an atheist is to actually read the Bible. There are so many of these. Let me see what's in here. Ooh, well, I'll be going to the post box on Monday or Tuesday, Celtic. I might get the Bible there. Oh, yes. My man, Toby, just keeping up to date with what he's ordering. What is that? A paper bag. Oh yeah, okay. So no, it was an energy drink. Okay, I thought, wait, have you ordered something different? It's an energy drink. It wasn't like chocolate. So sorry, Home for the Elderly. What was funny? Oh God, the South Park with Trump having a tiny dick. Okay, like it's not like they're great or wonderful or perfect, Matt and Trey, but Jesus Christ, they do not give a fuck. Like they've literally just gone, oh, Trump's threatening people who mock him. Okay, we're just going to do something extremely childish. Yeah, this one is more dockets. Oh, that's your McDonald's breakfast wraps. Nice. Yeah, Trump fucking Satan. They redid that bit of Saddam Hussein fucking Satan, but they just kept going like Trump's got a really tiny dick. Oh, okay. What have we been getting from Coles, Toby? Kit Kats and coffee milk. Thank you. I love it when it's a chocolate bar and a coffee milk. Justin, what do I think the Epstein files say about Trump? I think the real Epstein files about Trump say he was very glad that Epstein procured him some underage girls. We all know that's real. Like, oh my God, some of the hardcore Trumpy people in the last couple of weeks have just been exonerating him ahead of time. They don't care. There's a whole bunch of them who literally don't care if Trump is unequivocally outed as a sex offender because he's their guy. Okay, I didn't know that was in the episode. Cartman's upset, Woke's dead, so he wants to. He can't be offensive because Woke's dead, so he tries to kill himself with a hose from the exhaust, but it's an electric car. Oh God. Also, one of the funnier things I think the South Park guys have done is like, if you give them an award, they are going to mock you and say, why the fuck are you giving us awards, you absolute idiots? Safa, maybe. I have no idea about spoilers. I also don't care. Right, you know what? I've got my little samples. Maybe they should go in my Infinity whiskey. These are from Charlie, Home for the Elderly. They're all yummy. I'm just saying, is there any room in my Infinity bottle? Oh yeah, Justin. It is essentially like Trump's never been convicted of a criminal offense, but when he tried to sue E. Jean Carroll for saying she raped him, the judge said, "No, she didn't defame you because, based on what I can see, she's just telling the truth." And rich people definitely have their own rules. They fucking control things. Oh my God. I really look, if you want a mind expanding thing and just a really interesting read, I listened to the audio book. And in fact, I just listened to it for a second time because I knew I hadn't taken it all in. And I was right. There's a book called The Dawn of Everything by David Graeber and David Wengrove. I think David Graeber died, actually, which is sad because he was a really good thinker. But The Dawn of Everything by David Graeber and David Wengrove, it is basically rethinking what we think we know about the history of humanity and power and injustice. It's fascinating. They are such good thinkers. Although there was a funny thing where they're talking about different philosophers from different times, and they go, there was this guy, I think he was German, he was European anyway, and and it was like, yeah, and then he blamed everything on the Jews, and the authors go, considering we're Jews, we're not super cool with him saying the Jews are responsible for everything bad. It's again, the humor with which they say, like, they're going, okay, and then he said it's all the fault of the Jews. And given that we are Jewish, we're not super cool with his take there. But yeah, I try to mix things up when I'm listening to audiobooks with some non-fiction and some fiction, and I'm a real sci-fi geek. But the fiction's not all sci-fi that I listen to. I sometimes I just get recommendations and I go for it. But I am listening to a space war sci-fi thing at the moment called Columbus Day. It's quite entertaining. It's actually great. Like there's an attack on Earth from aliens, and then different aliens chase off the aliens that attacked Earth. So Earth allies themselves with these ones who chase them off, and it progresses along and go, oh no, we accidentally teamed up with the bad guys. Like the ones who attacked Earth didn't do it because they hated us. It was a strategic thing in this intergalactic war. And like, oh, sorry, but we tried not to do too much damage. But you've actually allied themselves with the bad guys. Oh, Safa would okay. You know what? Let's upset some Zionists, Safa. Would Hitler back Israel? Hitler would back the existence of Israel because it's got the Jews out of Europe. And Hitler would definitely defend what Netanyahu and the IDF are doing, no question. I just saw the little clip of naked Trump with a tiny dick, and they reuse that stuff about Satan. And again, Trump is so shallow. He's going to work. And I've seen some things, and it's kind of like people think the network was trying to suck up to Trump to get a merger approved that honestly probably shouldn't be approved. And the South Park guys might have sunk it because they were pissed off at the network. Safa, I'm never going to fucking Israel while the current apartheid regime exists. Yeah, we could put Israel on the list of places I can't go because of shit I've said on the internet. The US is on the fucking list at the moment. Oh yeah, Noog, the Expanse audiobooks are fucking awesome. I listen to the whole lot. And honestly, because it's been so the Expanse book split between the original story, then there's a jump of 20 years or more. But so I don't know, I feel like it's been about 10 years. I feel like they should relaunch the Expanse for the last few stories, and instead of making it 20 years in the future, make it 10 years in the future, and you can have all the original cast. Yeah, and legit, I might re-listen to the Expanse audiobooks again because they're so fucking good. Oh, Home for the Elderly, have I picked what I'm going to watch this weekend? I have not. Do you have any recommendations? I still haven't watched Ballerina, and I might watch Ballerina. I've got to decide what I'm going to do for recovery tomorrow morning. We'll see. Doesn't have to be a movie. It might be a show. I'm going to be watching stuff with Mrs. Angry. Justin, yes, I have Jewish friends. Oh, no, absolutely. In fact, none of my Jewish friends support Israel. I don't know if anyone remembers my friend Dave Blumenstein, who came over. He had his granddad's booze because Dave doesn't drink alcohol, but he inherited all this stuff because his dad owned a club in the 70s or a pub in the 70s. And so I had all this 70s booze to try. Dave is really anti-Zionist. And when he was throwing out some stuff, I was like, cool, I'm glad you're here because I can't say that. And he's like, yes, you can. And I went, no, I can't. I have a bunch of Jewish friends. Actually, I was going to say none of them are Zionists, but there was one guy that I knew through YouTube who I quite liked, who did say some incredibly gross, fucked up Zionist shit. And that was a couple of years ago. That was actually before the current thing. But anyway, but yeah, I feel confident in saying my Jewish friends aren't Zionists. So, Nook, your favorite line from that series will be ever so I go, meow, 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 cry, meow, meow. That's all I hear from you. My favorite is in the TV series, the streaming series. It's not really in the book. Amos going, I am that guy. And again, I love the streaming series. The streaming series, The Expanse, is fucking awesome. But it's really interesting listening to the audiobooks, reading the books, because it's essentially the same, but unsurprisingly, they compress some of the storyline. Some characters who are in the series are actually an amalgam of multiple characters from the books. They leave some stuff from the books out completely. So even if you've watched the series, which I had, you still get surprises from the books because there's whole plot lines in the books that they just didn't put in the series. So they're both fantastic. The streaming series, The Expanse, is fantastic. The books are fantastic. And yes, Justin, you're right. Jewish people are not a monolithic group. No one is. Even fucking cishet white guys like me aren't a monolithic group. But yeah, it is a dangerous trap to fall into. No, the TV show is great. I was like, don't put your dick in it. She's legitimate salvage. But it's just that one bit when they've got the guy who's trying to rescue his daughter that the bad people have been doing experiments on with the alien stuff. And this doesn't happen in the book, but in the TV show, the dad's going to kill this scientist. And Amos goes, you're not that guy. Just take your daughter and go. And he goes. And the scientist says to Amos, oh, thank you so much. And Amos just turns on him and goes, I am that guy. And just pulls a gun out. Fucking pops the dude. And interesting, talking about adaptations and stuff that's different and whatnot. Just randomly, like for all its flaws, I do love the movie 300, which is based on a graphic novel by a guy who is seriously flawed. But anyway, you know the big thing in the movie 300 where Leonidas kicks the messenger into the well and screams, "This is Sparta!" That's not a big thing in the comic. Yeah, Home for the Elderly, Frank Miller. Oof. That is a guy with issues. Has done some really good comics, but dude's got issues. But yeah, in the comic, the graphic novel 300, Leonidas does kick the messenger into a well and says, "This is Sparta." Madness. But it's not like from what you get from the movie, it would be a full page of him going, "This is Sparta." But it's just a whole page of little things with madness. He goes, "Oh, madness," kick him in the well. "This is Sparta." And it's so wild to me that became such a big thing from the movie, and it was not a big thing in the graphic novel. Safa, yeah, graphic novels are comic books, mate. Some people in the 90s got all highfalutin and said, people don't take comics seriously, so I'm calling this a graphic novel. Graphic novels are comics, mate. I love comics. I love graphic novels. Noog, does Miller still write Sin City? And again, there's elements of Sin City I like, and there's elements of Sin City that are just allowing Israel to be established was a mistake. Honestly, dude, I pretty much agree with you. The state of Israel should probably never have been established where it was, but that was colonial powers doing fucked up thing. But now it's there. It's like, come on, let's let's work on a solution that allows Israel to continue to exist. Dude, we're on the same fucking page, man. So, okay, if we wanted to be really technical about graphic novels versus regular comics, graphic novels is a comic that has multiple chapters that form an overall thing. A comic book doesn't have to be chapters. A comic book can just be self-contained. But if it's like comics with multiple chapters that form a whole story, that's a graphic novel. Safa, I think broad brushstrokes, biblical area Israel is the same area as modern Israel, but you'd want someone who's both a biblical, political, and map scholar to answer that definitively. Noog. Nothing. What is writing style for Sin City? Hasn't left and gets into non-Sin City work. All-Star Batman and Robin. I think he's probably done some good Batman stuff too. Anyway, I'm thinking, what are we? 9:20, and I've had 2 cocktails, and I'm feeling it a bit. Ooh, let's break out the breathalyzer, see if it's working. Okay, it's counting down from 100. Last night, I kind of think it was working because it told me I was at 0.15, 3 times the limit. And I kind of felt like I was maybe 3 times the limit, actually. Counting down to 40. God, there was a news story in the last week or so. The cops pulled some guy over. He said a beer bottle on the roof of his car, and he turned out to be 7 times over the limit. 0.08. Yeah, that might be right. I feel a little bit inebriated. But this guy was 7 times over the limit. Our limit's 0.05, and he was more than 0.35. I think he was like 0.38. And I was going, what the fuck? So to get to 0.35 and above, you would have, because 0.05 is 3 drinks. So you would have to have, let's say he had a 3-4 hour drinking session. Over 3-4 hours, this guy would have had to have had like 20 standard drinks. Celtic drinking Captain Morgan Black Spice Rum. I've still got a can thing that Home for the Elderly sent me. Oh no, it's a Kraken Black Spiced mojito. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Home for the Elderly, I feel like the breathalyzer is working because there was a period where it definitely wasn't. Safa, I saw the picture. It was like a brown beer bottle. But yeah, being 7 times over the limit, I was like, how are you still upright? 7 times over the limit. Jesus Christ. I would definitely lose consciousness before then. Anyway, I think I'm good. I feel like I've had this bottle of Watkins whiskey for ages, like years. I should finish it. Make an old fashioned. Got my brown sugar syrup. Do. Yeah. Like I got this at a clearance at Dan's, like 30-40% off. And I legit avoided it for a while because I thought it's got a stupid bottle. What's with the stupid bottle? Like, it's $150 for that single malt, and it was marked down to under $100. And when I eventually got it, I was like, oh my God, this is actually a nice whiskey. Fuck me for not getting it earlier. But it is a legit weird bottle. It's off-putting. It's like a wine bottle. Wait, also, before I sit down, where's my infinity whiskey bottle? That's my infinity rum. Where's my infinity whiskey? Ooh, that's my barrel-aged old-fashioned. It's fucking full. Wait, where is my fucking infinity whiskey bottle? Up here? Oh, fuck. What have I done? No, that's Mrs. Angry's wines. Well, that's it. Oh, no, that's full. My infinity whiskey is full. Okay, not putting anything in there. Oh, all right. What was that? All right. I'm doing bottle kills. It's like, that bottle's been there for ages. Let's finish it. So now I'm working on finishing the Watkins whiskey. Oh, God. When I did the bitters then, I've sprayed bitters all across my desk here. Oh, Noog, is there a Batman set in Aztec? I do like those what-if scenarios with Batman in different eras. Celtic, what's the weirdest drink I've ever had? See, that's really subjective. And, what's weird? I mean, because some people think putting egg in a drink is weird, but that's actually really traditional. I could go with like, what's the weirdest bottle I've actually got? Okay, I'm going to consider that. What's the most unusual? This is a pretty interesting gin, hot cross buttered gin. It's meant to taste like meant to remind you of a buttered hot cross bun. And you can actually see there's like fat suspended in it because it was distilled with butter in the thing. It's really good. So that's not a bad contender, actually. What have I got in here that's a little unusual? I got my 70s Israeli chocolate liqueur, bitter orange chocolate liqueur. Is anything in here weird? No, you know what? I think the butter rum classifies as my weirdest drink. Because you can literally see little dots of fat suspended in the gin. It's got butter in it. I think that classifies as my weirdest drink, actually. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking of doing with an experiment. Dessert Lucky Boy, getting the spiced liqueur. I want to milk clarify the spiced liqueur. I just have this feeling that would be really good. I might even do it as a video. Celtic, you know someone who mixed bang, which is cannabis paste, into rum? Yeah, well, you can get weed-infused alcohols, definitely. Yeah, I'm trying to be good and not get too much, but I'm also more than a tad tempted to go to the Gospel Distillery is having an open day tomorrow, and they will let you fill a bottle straight from the barrel, like cask strength. And I'm like, ooh, I am so tempted because I'm a fan of the Gospel. Not quite at mineral water stage, Safa. because I just made myself an old fashioned. That's fucking good. That Watkins whiskey is actually really good. Oh man, that is nice. I'm 100% getting the new Star Wars t-shirt. Yeah, okay. I guess I'm not that compelled to get it because I'm A, trying to be responsible. B, I've had ginger beer cask from them before, and it's good. It genuinely has a ginger beer zing to it. So I think you're going to like it. Oh, fuck yeah. One of the Tasmanian distilleries I'm on the mailing list for, Heliers Road. Great distillery. They make the best cream liqueur. Like you try their whiskey cream liqueur, you can get it at Dan's. But there are different flavors you can get from them directly. But the standard one you can get from Dan's, their whiskey cream liqueur makes all other whiskey cream liqueurs look like shit. Like I might even go out and get some because I got some in the fridge. Fuck me, it's so good. But also, they make really good whiskies as well. But they emailed me this week. Oh, our oldest ever whiskey. There's like a whiskey they've been maturing for 21 years, which would make it one of the oldest whiskies ever bottled in Australia. And I couldn't resist looking at it. Oh my god, what stupid price is this going to be? Like $1,450. It's like, oh my god, that's not even about the taste. That's just for collectors having something super rare. Kelsey, have I ever consumed cannabis? I had a hash cookie from someone once. Oh no, I've had edibles like chocolate that was infused with cannabis. I don't smoke it because I don't smoke. I've never smoked. So I don't think I could get high from smoking because I'd just choke. Oh my God, that's so fucking good. But yeah, when I had edibles, this guy was giving it to me, he's like, oh, just have a little bit. It's really fucking strong. And I may have even done this on a stream. But I had them and I had more on them. And, oh yeah, I can feel it now. Man, I had the wildest dreams that night. Like, didn't affect my sleep. I had good sleep, but the fucking dreams, they were so brilliant and clear and strident and loose. It was fucking amazing dreams. They're like, I didn't hallucinate when I was conscious, but fuck me, my dreams were all over the shop. It wasn't AIDSy, actually. It was another YouTube friend. AIDSy wanted me to do cocaine one time. Because I had a job, I was going, okay, I can maybe foot the bill for cocaine. He's going, okay, and then he's like $700. And I was like, fuck off. $700 for one night? What the fuck? No, that's stupid. You know, let's just get drunk. Spend about $100 and get drunk. Oh, Home for the Elderly. If you did weed, you couldn't dream. Safra, I don't give a shit, man. It was all in Minecraft, mate. Oh my fucking God. That Watkins whiskey is actually really good. And interestingly, remember me sort of complaining about the bottle and saying the bottle is stupid and put me off? They did change the bottle, but they still have a very non-standard bottle. In fact, I might actually look it up. Is the Home for the Elderly, you probably still were dreaming, but the weed fucked you up. So you didn't remember the dreams or enjoy the dreams or get any therapeutic value in the dreams. It affects people differently. But yeah, it's one thing to say you're dreaming, but you don't remember. It's like, if you don't remember the dream, you're basically not dreaming, because the whole thing is remembering it. Oh shit, it's still in these fucking bottles. I swear I saw a different bottle. Okay. All right, I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. Oh, Justin, crack, meth, those really severe drugs are very, 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 very bad. Okay. Watkins whiskey. So if you look at this, like, yeah, like $150. Where is it? See, that's the bottle I've got. Yeah, they're saying 150, but I got it. Go away. Oh, nice. Sent me to the Drinkwise site. I got to do a video one time of where the booze site sends you if you Oh, okay. This is the actual distillery. Okay, so this is the actual distillery. Mount Watkins. So that bottle I showed before was the one I got, but they've changed it. The bottle looks better now, but they're still be different. Mount Uncle Distillery. Yeah, it's still $150. It's good fucking whiskey though, but I wouldn't pay $150. Ooh, they've got a Far North Queensland rum, Palladium. Join the wait. Yes, oh, Jesus, that fucking tripped me out. Little drone flight through their distillery. Ooh, I wonder if this is CG. I think it's probably a drone flight. Bestsellers. Rum, 5-year aged rum for $75. Plum gin, $85. Agave spirit for $95. That seems expensive. F&Q Rum Co. A white rum or cane spirit. Iridium 5-year age rum. Ah, you know what? That's probably enough. What are we doing? Never touch crack. You don't, yo. And what's the latest? Fucking fentanyl is just fucking up so many people. Like okay, maybe in Minecraft in my youth, I bought substances from people. I legit would not fucking buy drugs from people now, because you don't fucking know what it's cut with. And the amount of times you hear like, oh yeah, someone just thought they were getting this and it had fentanyl in it, which will fuck you. Stuff will get a lot better. Okay, you know what? I am going to search. What's this place that I've seen when I'm on the tram? I feel like there's a bunch of burger places near me. Yeah, Hendrix. Oh, Yelp says the best 10 burgers. Major Tom's a burger junkie. I don't know what that is. Tuck Shop is closed, I think. I think it doesn't exist anymore. Big Belly, I have been there. Yeah, this is so out of date. Smoke and Pickles closed years ago. I fucking loved Smoke and Pickles. Is it Burger Sugar that I'm thinking of? Looking at a list, I'm not showing it to you. Burger Edge grilled. Yeah, I don't know. I may or may not share it. Look, okay, I think I probably need to go on Google Maps. Is that going to work? Because I think I'll recognize the name if I go Burger near me. Burger by Night, no. Burger Bliss, no. I don't want to. I don't think it's what it's called. Maybe it is. Maybe it's. They keep recommending this place, Burger Bliss, to me. Hamburger restaurant. God, maybe it is. Okay, I'm going to look at this place. This place is somewhere I can get to without too much trouble, and I'll share, as you asked, Safa. I will share the menu. Okay, let's have a look at this place. I shall show what I'm looking at. Burger Bliss. Okay, what are we looking at here? Okay, we'll get 5% off. Cheese bum. That says weird. Okay, smash burgers, smash cheese. Speaking of, Carnegie loves cheese. Bacon, pickle, meat in the middle, smash patty. Wow, so that's a beef patty and chicken, fried chicken. Damn. Take the floor, smash patty, double bacon, cheese. Okay, that's my sort of thing, honestly. Buzz style, smash patties, cheese, bacon, pickle, crispy seasoned fries, bliss sauce. Fuck me. I might go to this place. I don't know where it is, but I might fucking go. Triple smash, triple bacon. Oh my fucking God. Give me a coronary. Triple patty, triple bacon, cheese, barbecue sauce, mustard, and aioli. Oh my fucking God. Beef burger, spicy Hawaiian, beef patty, fried egg, pineapple, jalapeno, cheese bomb, beef patty, cheese, tomato sauce, double trouble, brisket burger, slow cooked barbecue brisket, sauerkraut, no, fuck jalapenos, Mac Daddy, double beef cheese, Aussie Bliss, classic cheese. Ooh, Blue Bliss, beef patty, bacon, caramelized. Oh, now you're getting me. Blue cheese. I fucking love blue cheese. I haven't, and there was a place where I used to live in Eastern Kilda that did a blue cheeseburger that I loved. Beef patty, bacon, onion, blue cheese. Ooh, that's a real fucking possibility. Because that's slightly more controlled than the triple threat, triple patty, triple bacon, cheese. Fuck me. I think I'm going to this fucking place tomorrow night, honestly. Chicken, look at all the chicken stuff. And even a couple of veggie burgers. The cheesy melt, fried onion rings, mozzarella sticks, sweet potato fries, cheese sauce. Fuck me. And some fish ones, fish fillets. Parma? Damn, I think I'm going to this place. Fuck me. I don't know where it is. I'm going to have to find Burger Bliss. I'm going to have to find it. Damn, I fucking think that might be it. That might be what I'm doing tomorrow night. Fucking hell. Yeah, I know. I'm feeling 5%. Do you have a local burger place Used to do quarter pounder top with pulled chicken. Oh my God. I swear to God. But that place that I was just looking at, they got a couple. God damn. Hello, Dr. Abigail. I'm doing chicken stuff. Dude, who knows what I'm going to do? Also, I might try and remember to come over to your place this weekend to drop off my laptop to see if you can fix it because it's fucking dead. I'm using my old laptop here. But I might try and coordinate with you to drop off my gaming laptop, my more high-powered laptop, and see if you can fix it because I have no fucking idea what happened to it. Maybe I'll use that as my excuse because I'll go out and about. I was thinking of going to the Gospel Distillery for their open day tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. It all depends on how long this stream goes and what I feel like in the morning, essentially. I feel a little inebriated. Does the week? No, Safa, the laptop won't fucking start at the moment. But it always had some weird problem. So you're home all day tomorrow. So I might, if I get motivated to get up and about, I might message you. You know what? Just for fun, I'm going to breathalyze myself again. See if this is working. Because last time I think it said I was 0.08, which kind of seemed accurate. If it's working, there should be more now. Because I definitely feel more. That wasn't a super strong old fashioned, but it was not a weak old fashioned at all. Beep, there we go. Still saying 0.08. Maybe it's working, maybe it isn't. I don't know. Anyway, let's get some mineral water. Ooh, that's the last one in this one. Oh. But I do have another 10-pack out there. And you're home on Sunday. Okay. Well, I am going to try and drop by and see you, Dr. Abigail. Try and drop off my laptop to see if you can resurrect it. Because it's fucking dead. But even before it completely died, it had this weird, stupid problem where it would load StreamYard, then it wouldn't play video, and it was clearly stupid and fucked up. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciated the burp, Safa. We have gotten to that stage where any sort of filter I had about behavior is probably switched off. I almost bought some new cocktail shirts today, but I get super fucking annoyed when I go on these sites and they tell me a price, but they don't tell me that they're telling me that price in American dollars. You know, that's not bad. And I go, how much is that? And then it's like 50% more because of the shit exchange rate between Australian dollar and US dollar. So it's like, But I did almost get some new shirts today because it was okay. But I was pierced off that they weren't telling me the real price. Who's on at the moment? Sorry, I'm looking at one thing. Someone's watching on Twitch. It was kind of funny earlier tonight. I had another new person on Twitch who was clearly going to say, you should pay me to do graphics to customize your Twitch stream. And it's kind of funny that always happens with Twitch people. Oh, yes, Dr. Abigail, we were talking about that South Park episode. I've just seen the little bit of saying like, Trump's got a really tiny dick. It's ridiculous. Celtic, do I like Lenny Kilmister? From fucking what was his band called? Motorhead. And I just remember it from the young ones in the 80s with the Ace of Spades, the Ace of Spades. Lemmy was funny, honestly. Speaking about things metal, I find it interesting that Australian Indigenous rapper Briggs is like following Ice Cube's path. He's started a heavy metal band now that he calls Big Nota. Ice Cube, who is a famous rapper, started a heavy metal band called Body Count. But I am quite the fan of Briggs, whether he's doing stuff under his own name or his collaboration with Trials that he calls AB Original. And now he's started a heavy metal band called Big Nota, which, kicks ass, quite honestly. Should put something on the Jukebox channel on the Discord. Although I did put on Jukebox fucking Baby Metal, Japanese idol band doing heavy metal, teamed up with Bloody Wood. Indian rap metal outfit, very good. But seriously, a fucking banger. I like Baby Metal. I like Bloody Wood. Seeing that Baby Metal and Bloody Wood had done a team up, I had to listen to it, and it's fucking awesome. Yeah, that's the funny home fidelity. That's the funny thing with South Park, that they do stuff on the fly, so they produce the episodes so quickly. When they go to air, they are often referencing stuff that happened only a week or two before the episode went to air, because they apparently work like when they're producing episodes. So for like 3-4 months, they produce stuff like mad bastards, and it's referencing stuff that's just happened. That is true, Home Fidelity. We haven't had a jukebox night for ages. Still have to work out the best way to do it, actually. Like, I clearly can't do a YouTube stream with it. I think you can get away with more on Twitch, but even if we just hang out on Discord and share music videos. Noog. You're going to have a VPN. Oh, yeah, no. Fucking UK Labour suck balls. I have problems with Australian Labour and like the US Democrats, but UK Labour under Starmer are fucking shit. So Toby, you've got a graveyard shift. Get some sleep, my brother. Fidelity, that could work. Sharing my screen, yeah. Because I have YouTube Premium, so there'd be no ads. Yeah, be flexible. We should do that. Okay, I think, we want to work with Ray's. Like, when's the next time he has like a Friday or Saturday off? And we should do just fucking music night on Discord. Because I often do it in the lead up, particularly to Friday night, party night. I didn't do it tonight. It's a bit of a rarity. Often in the lead up to party night, I'll just be sitting on my PC with my headphones on, and just having some banging tunes, just amping me up for party night. Safa, you were getting party night. Sorry. Oh shit. Okay, I'm a little inebriated. You were getting buffering. Dr. Abigail, you're assuming the Nelson Lefty title is an allusion to his... Yes, it is actually the anniversary of Nelson getting his right arm amputated. So my personal headcanon is everyone called Nelson Lefty after that. It's really funny. Like, Mrs. Angry grew up in a few different places in the UK, but one of them was Portsmouth, one of the big ports in the UK, and they have a replica of Nelson's flagship there. Oh, Safa, the really big figure from British naval history, Horatio Nelson. So I remember was the last one of the times I went to the UK with Mrs. Angry to visit a family. We went to Portsmouth, and we're looking around, just wandering around. Like, it's such an old. That's it. Thank you, Dr. Abigail. It's the Victory. Safa. Okay, Nelson, most famous for his victory against Napoleon at the Battle of Trafalgar and whatnot. But yes, his ship was the Victory. There's a replica of his ship. And okay, let's fucking go. Hey Greg, how you doing? Am I in my YouTube channel here? Which YouTube am I signed into here? Fuck yes, Angry Aussie. Okay. Let's go. I'm sure I've got a video where I'm on the replica of the Victory. No. Okay, trying to remember what the video would be called. I'm sure I've got a fucking video. Oh God, maybe it was on Less Angry Aussie. I don't know. It legit might have been on Less Angry Aussie, actually. Let me see. Yes, it was on Less Angry Aussie. All right, we're getting a history lesson. This is me. True facts about the HMS Victory, Nelson, and the Battle of Trafalgar. Wait, was Laura here? Hello, Laura. Hello. But before we do anything else, I am going to share my screen. And just for Safa, here's a history lesson. Also, wait, sorry, I have to... When was this? This was September 2016. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens here.
Today I'm in the historic naval dockyards. All sorts of ships in various stages of repair here. This is called boathouse number 4. This is the free thing. I'm not saying I'm only here because it's free and I'm a cheap bastard, but well, if you know me, you know something's free, it's going to be there. Going to have a look at the HMS Victory right now, so it'll be slightly more interesting than this. Behind me there, you can see Nelson's flagship, the Victory, which won the Battle of Trafalgar. When you see how advanced it is, it's no wonder that they actually won against the older wooden ships. What? Oh, apparently that's the Victory. That actually makes more sense. I was a little confused. That did not look like it would have taken part in the Battle of Trafalgar. They should have better signage here. I'm inside the Victory now, and you can see behind me it had a total of 3 cannons, which was a big step up because prior to the Victory, ships only had 1 cannon. So this was really quite revolutionary. I am, of course, talking crap. There are many cannons on here, which I imagine made this a bit like a heavy metal concert when they were all going off at once. I'm on the main deck of the Victory now, and up that end is where Nelson died. His last words were reputed to be "Kiss me Hardy" to Captain Hardy, which probably made things slightly awkward for Hardy. I mean, Nelson died. He didn't have to face up to it, but Hardy's looking at the men going, what? Okay, so he's finally declared it. I would have preferred it if last Christmas, in front of his mother, he could have said something. He waits here till he's dying. That's fine. It had to happen sometime. But, maybe time and a place. That's all I'm saying. This is the officers' quarters on the Victory, where they would sit around, drink rum, and call for Roger the cabin boy. And you get a good view out here, and I will just duck under the door. Because I'll tell you one thing about this ship, it makes me feel tall. Many of the ceilings are only 5 feet high, and in fact the entrance door to it's only like 4'6". So I suddenly feel like I'm quite tall. I'm not quite sure why they made them so low. I'm sure people weren't that short. But so far I haven't hit my head. We'll see how we go. And this is the view through the windows. This is below decks now. This is what's known as close quarters. There's a lot of hammocks there. That's how closely the crew actually slept together. And it smells like they're still down here, quite honestly. So yeah, not a lot of privacy here, close quarters, or as AZ would call it, a good Saturday night. Now, here we have the area where the crew would relax, have fun. They could have a tankard of ale. They would have some simple card games. And you can see over in the corner, they had a flat screen TV. I initially thought this was another recreation area of the ship. This is where they did woodworking and crafts. But I am reliably informed this is the surgeon's table. And this is where they would chop bits off of you just for a laugh. In the depths of the ship now, this bit would be underwater when it was at sea. Very dark and wet. But just before the sailors would leave when they got to shore, they were fortunate enough to have a gift shop where they could get some presents for their family to celebrate their time at sea. So that was my time on the HMS Victory. There was not actually a lot of written information in there explaining what happens, but with my deep knowledge of history, I feel like I was able to fill in the gaps for you and give you a feel of the truth of what it was like on one of these ships.
So there you go, Safa. That was a history lesson for you, mate. Yes, Laura, people really were shorter, but it was amazing to me in that shit that I had to duck all the time. Number one commenter. I think we've established that thing YouTube introduced doesn't really work very well. But it's all fine. Safa, how much did it cost? I don't remember, dude. That was like 8 years ago. That's not something I committed to memory. But I did have fun having a walk around inside a replica of the Victory and making shit up. It's not so much heartburn. That was just a very weird burp. I couldn't suppress it. Oof. God, now I feel like I should put something on. Oh God, you know what? Dr. Abreu was saying it 10 years ago. I got a comment on a really old video. Let me see if I can. See if I can. Yeah, okay. This comment cracked me up because someone commented like, "Oh, it's me. He's the one who walked in the opposite direction." So this video, I'm at St Kilda Beach 15 years ago. This is December 2009. So it's actually 15 and a half years ago. And someone who appears in it actually commented and going, it's me. I'm in this video from 15 and a half years ago. And how long is this? 6 minutes. I need to have a pee break. So I'm going to play this video for you while I do that, bearing in mind one of the young ladies who appears towards the end commented just yesterday, like, "Hey, that was me." And I just find that really funny. But I'm going to play this because I need to have a pee break.
G'day viewers. Well, I'm outside again, enjoying some nice summer weather, rather than being cooped up in my little shed/studio, and also for something different. For those of you who don't know, what did I say last time I was outside? I was going to bring some fly repellent, so that didn't happen. I forgot. Anyway, moving on. For those who don't know, I'm taking a bit of break from work until after Christmas, and so I'm going to have a bit of free time. And I thought, get back in the swing of talking instead of just performing. I'm going to do a video a day for a week, at least a week. Last time I did this, the week went by before I realized it. So if I feel like I'm on a roll and I want to keep going, I may be doing them for more than a week. I will still do the regular Wanga Fat Wednesday and Totally Fucked Up Friday videos, but the rest of the time it'll be at least a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about a few topics, exploring some ideas that I don't do in my what I call performance style videos on YouTube, and maybe helping people think a little, as scary as that is. And there will probably be written blog posts to go along with this. And in fact, there's quite a long one that I did as a monologue on Blog TV that I was intending to do as a YouTube video, but I think it's a bit long. The other thing I'm going to try and do is keep these videos under 5 minutes. See if I can. I'll see where they go anyway. I'm not going to cut a video short and miss out on something that I think is worth saying. But if I can make worthwhile points in that 5 minute period, I will. The types of things I'm going to be dealing with are a little more complex than what I do in the performance type videos. Actually, yeah, as I said, trying to challenge people to think a little, as scary as that is. I keep coming back to, so many people seem to be scared of thinking. The blog post I wrote when I started nutting this out is all about seeing things from other people's point of view.
because people often give that lip service, the idea of, oh, I respect your point of view, but they don't really mean it. I'm talking about how hard it is to look at someone. Now, their life is different, their experiences are different, their values are different, and you look at what they say, and you just disagree so deeply, and yet still being able to say, you know what, in their world, that's right for them. Like if that person's actually not being hurtful and destructive, the difference of their views can still be totally valid. I think I've made it totally clear on my videos when I think people aren't being valid, when they're being racist or bigoted. Global warming deniers, I just don't give a fuck. Say whatever you want. In your own world, you can do that, but I actually think you people are a threat to the continuation of human civilization, so I'm not about to back off on that. And some people get all upset and affronted by that. Don't really care. So I'm going to approach a few issues, including I'm going to have one where I tell you things about me, things I believe that will probably end up surprising people. Things from looking at the YouTube videos, people form definite ideas about me. I'm more complex than that. So I guess this is also another opportunity if you want me to do some deep thinking. In case you haven't noticed, I don't normally do the deep thinking in the YouTube comments because it's not worth it. And in fact, one of the videos I do is going to essentially be, and it'll probably be titled, Why Am I So Mean? When I establish why I rip on people on the comments on YouTube videos. But there'll be hopefully some interesting stuff for you. This is, flies still attacking me. Mental note, remember fly repellent next time you, I never remember mental notes. My brain's like a sieve. So yeah, there'll be a video a day for a week at least, and that means at least 7 videos in a row. I hope you enjoy it. If you only like the regular performance stuff, tune in on Wednesday and Friday for that. And otherwise, you'll be seeing a lot more of me for a little while. Catch you later. For YouTube.
Oh, okay. Can I be in it?
If you like, come on over and say hello. I just paused momentarily as some lovely young ladies were going by.
Hi.
Sorry, what are your names?
Kath and Adriana.
Kath and Adriana.
Hi.
Enjoying the lovely weather?
Yes.
I am. That's why I came outside. Normally I do this inside, but a lot of people who watch what I do are from Northern Hemisphere and they're stuck in the middle of winter. So we can lord it over them. We have great weather at the moment. Thanks for dropping by. I actually paused it to not have you in there, but it's much more interesting having some different faces come in and say hello.
What's it called?
You can look me up under Angry Aussie.
Angry Aussie.
If you look up that on YouTube,
The Angry Angus from Hungry Jacks.
they stole it and they owe me. Calling their angry burgers, they owe me.
Is the camera still on?
Yeah, it is. It's still rolling. I'll probably edit this a bit, but I'll put the whole thing up unedited. So sometime in the next week, this will be up. So you lovely ladies, you're much more interesting to look at than me for a start. I'll get yeah, much better looking, younger and attractive than me. I'll get 1 million more viewers just for having these lovely young ladies in my video.
All right, Aussie. Later.
Bye. Aren't you going the same way? The guest stars. I hope you enjoyed that. I did.
Sorry, okay, now my microphone's on. I got a comment just today or yesterday from Adriana, the one who walked off the wrong way. She said, "No, it's me, Adriana, who walked off the wrong way." And I just thought that was a hoot that for whatever reason, she re-looked up that video 15 years later. Pretty funny. But yeah. All right. While I was out, I got this. Helios Road Cream Liqueur. I was talking this up earlier. But this one that I got direct from them, hazelnut, they don't sell this anymore. So this is the last of the hazelnut whiskey cream liqueur. Nutella whiskey cream liqueur. It's fucking yummy. Oh, yes, they were very into doing the boob lift in the video. The boobs would be what attract people. Laura, you think free entry to the Victory? Most main tourist museums. I legit don't remember. I just remember Mrs. Angry's mum organised it. Wanted us to be down there. So I'm gonna have some whiskey cream liqueur. Gonna finish off the hazelnut. You can't get this anymore. Yes, I was very decorous. When Adriana replied, "That was me the other way." I didn't play. Hey, do you want to come on and do another boob lift on a video? Oh yes, no, Dr. Abigail. I guess that you were mentioning Lord of the Rings. Tolkien said wear mithril in the world because I was wearing the shirt, which I think came with my Lord of the Rings box set. My other shirt is mithril. Safa, my pee was very satisfying. Thank you. Yes. Well, Chris Christopherson is a good one, Laura. Most people say Jack Black. But yes, 15 years younger, 20 kilos lighter, I think. Time. Time makes fools of us all. But this is fucking yummy. Oh, that tastes really distinctly like Nutella. Oh, okay. So the answer was 3 places in the world where mithril could be found. Is it like countries or specific locations? Because that's new to me. I don't remember Tolkien ever saying that. But my knowledge of Tolkien is not that comprehensive. Oh my god! I just thought there was a really funny video on YouTube. It's probably still there. Tolkien explaining why the Fellowship didn't just get the Eagles to take them into Mordor. And it's like this old recording of Tolkien. Well, some people ask me, why didn't the Fellowship just get Eagles to carry them into Mordor? And people ask me that. I say, well, shut up. And people for ages thought this was real. It was a real interview with Tolkien, just saying, like, I didn't think of that, shut up. But it wasn't. It was actually an impressionist. And for the longest time, people thought it was actually a real interview with Tolkien, and it wasn't. So, I guess you know the answer, Dr. Abigail. 3 places where there's mithril, one was specific. I feel like South Africa was famous for mining. It might be in South Africa. And also Australia with mining. I would have thought Australia might be one of the answers. Laura, there's the name of a Warhammer paint, mithril silver. Mm. Oh, now I'm just having a boozy dessert. It's very, very tasty. It's freaking yum. You know, I'm thinking, did I mention earlier with my spiced, mostly brandy liqueur? I think I'll do a milk clarified version. I think I definitely did say that earlier in the stream. I might do the video for it on Tuesday night, actually, because I think it should be a video. So it's 3 places in the fantasy world. Okay, well, Khazad-dûm was one. Laura, dwarves are Welsh. Yeah, that makes sense. So, okay, in Middle Earth, Khazad-dûm was obviously where they could get mithril. That was the famous one. More broadly than Moria, the mines of Moria? I don't know. I am not that deeply versed in it. But I do feel confident that the specific place where they got Mithril was Khazad-dûm. Sorry, Laura, just see the thing about the Welsh being dwarves fighting. Just my South Park, Russell Crowe fighting around the world. Dr. Abigail, Khazad-dûm, the only place in Middle Earth where it was known that Mithril was found. Vastly more reserve Earth than the continent. Yes, okay. That does make sense. Just because we knew it was in Khazad-dûm doesn't mean it's not ours. So is it in the is that the Forbidden Realm, the Valinor, whatever we're calling that part that was cut off from Middle Earth because of various naughtiness? That's my scholarly take on what happened in Tolkien's far-reaching and expansive world creation. Some naughtiness happened. The kinslaying and various other bits of naughtiness. And then I just popped in my head Kenny Everett talking about naughty bits. Some cheap entertainment in the early 80s. And yes, or no, okay, Safa, Middle Earth is not its own planet. In Tolkien's world, there's the old world that where the denizens of Middle Earth were cut off from the Undying Lands. I have seen Home for the Elderly. I have seen trailers for the new Spinal Tap movie. It's possibly going to be very funny because all the people involved are very funny and have continued to do very funny stuff. Who knows? In fact, I was literally watching a trailer for the new Spinal Tap today. So, could be good. You never know. Could be good. Oh God, I feel like a lightweight. I don't know how much longer I'm going to last tonight. And it just makes me feel like a real lightweight. It's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to keep going. Oh yes, Happy Gilmore too. I mean, as much as Neil Gaiman has destroyed my ability to enjoy any of his work, I am enjoying this second season of The Sandman on Netflix, and I believe there are new episodes now. Might watch some of them this weekend. Been watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds with Mrs. Angry. Dr. Abigail, the men of Numenor had mines of mithril on their island home. Did they sing the song? Did the men of Numenor sing My Island Home? They used it to adorn their armor and shields. Tower Guard of Minas Tirith used mithril in helms forged in Numenor. There you go. So there is potentially mithril in Numenor. There's potentially mithril in Minas Tirith, but definitely wasn't mithril in Khazad-dûm. Laura, Shakespeare used the word naughty to describe really bad characters. Used to be really bad, synonymous with evil. Well, yeah. It's all a bit naughty when it comes down to it. So now I've got Shakespeare's sister's songs stuck in my head. We brought up Shakespeare. I don't care if they talk about us. I don't care. I just don't care. I've been listening to some old music in the last couple of days. Because I always listen to old music because I'm old. Ugh. Dr. Abigail, you're still trying Linux distros? Linux Mix is stuck. It's a great distro. Oh, no, sorry, you mean stuck as in you're sticking with it. Oh, Home for the Elderly, I love this Stay song too. I just generally like Shakespeare's Sisters, but the real opera of that song Stay, with the two women singing in really different styles and playing different characters in the video clip. Very, very good stuff. Great fucking 80s music. So funny, like when I were a lad in the 80s with our new wave and indies stuff, or like shit talk 60s music. Look, but though not really, 60s music was good and was very influential on the 80s. But I would definitely shit talk 60s acts who were trying to fund their retirement by having another tour. But that was only 20 years ago, and now it's like 2025. 20 years ago was not the 80s, it was 2005. Like, so the 80s is 40 years ago. So me listening to 80s music, is that equivalent to someone in the 80s listening to music from the 1940s? My answer is no, because rock and roll changed everything, and the 60s changed it again. And it's kind of like 80s music is closer to current music than 60s music was to 80s music. We'll do some joins. Oh, you're going to talk music? Okay, so anyone who's up for it, let's do it. It's Friday night. You can all fucking keep me awake because I legit do not know how long I will last without someone keeping me going. I'm feeling the lethargy getting a hold of me. So there is the link being sent out far and wide to anyone and everyone who wishes to join the stream. Keep me company, because I don't think I can stay conscious for much longer. Oof, and it's still early. Like I said, it makes me feel like a real lightweight to just go, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to Mormon your order. I think I'm just going to fucking go to bed, quite honestly. Yeah, it is true, hopefully. I do tend to get second wind if people join me. That's why I'm going, yes. Excellent suggestion, Laura, for joining in, because that might keep me going. Because without that, I am fading. Dr. Abigail woke up from autistic overload. You don't have to join. Okay. So I think that's Mrs. Angry just gone to bed. So there's no, at the moment, I feel like there's no way I'm lasting till 2 a.m. But here's Laura.
Hello there. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, how you doing?
Turn my mic a tiny bit. I'm doing pretty
Oh,
well.
it just
My money
froze
woes,
when you adjusted your...
yeah, my money woes are a
Oh,
little...
you are freezing intermittent. Getting like one frame every 10 seconds. Oh, now I think it's smoothed out. There we go.
Ah, okay. So, yeah, my money woes have become a lot better. So,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
that's a big worry off my mind. But no, I had the coolest month last month, or this month. When was it? No, it was June. I had the Imakarate stuff. I had we had the sensei come to Japan, so that was really cool. And it was a lot better than last year. I did last year, but back then I was still a yellow belt. I was very, very fresh. And so they were doing stuff at that. There was like me and one other person that was a yellow belt. Everybody could go because it was an age thing. But they're doing stuff that I'd never done before. So I'm like, what's this thing? How do I do that? And it's like that. Well, I'd learn that later. So last year I was like way out of my depth. This year I was able to keep up with it. So that was good. So it just shows my progression.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks' time, it is the next grading. And I asked, like, should I go for this? And she said, absolutely. So in a couple of weeks' time, 3 weeks from now, I suppose you could say, I will be a purple belt. That puts me in a senior.
Nice.
So it's like purple, brown, black.
Okay.
So I'm like up there now. So I can get the full rewards of being in this for a while. So so my best thing was, do you remember I told you that Sophie Bill Hawkins was going to be doing a thing in Manchester?
Right.
Then let's say about that one.
I'm just going to throw out, it's very weird. You're breaking up for me, and everyone in the chat says, no, Laura's fine. She's not breaking up. And I'm like, okay, it's something weird that's just happening to me. So I'm just letting you go, because everyone says there's no problems with you on the stream, even though StreamYard is not showing me properly. But anyway, continue.
On the 19th of June, Sophie B. Hawkins came to Manchester and did a performance, did a gig. And I thought it might have told you about that. That was really excited about it.
Okay, I'm just going to throw out, this is really surreal. Like, I'm not hearing or seeing you at all, but I'm also not getting any warnings about my bandwidth. So I do not know what my internet is doing to me tonight.
Why don't I leave and come back and see if that fixes it?
Well, apparently no one else is having a problem, Laura. It's literally only me having the problem. And it is super weird. Yes, I agree with Dr. Abigail Pepcak, which is an acronym for problem exists between it's between keyboard. It's basically saying between chair and keyboard. That's it. I was trying to remember what the acronym was. Problem exists between chair and keyboard and what's between the chair and keyboard? I'm between the chair and keyboard. So I'm the problem.
Okay, how's this working?
For me, perfectly. Yeah.
Excellent.
Everyone else was telling me you were fine before. It was literally just me who was the problem.
Yeah, I thought maybe I'll just leave and come back in and that should fix it. Yay, it seems to have done so.
It really has, which is fantastic, because it was tripping me out.
So I think I told you one of the last times I was in that I'd got tickets to see Sophie B. Hawkins live in Manchester.
Yes.
So that was the first concert, performance, whatever you want to call it, gig I'd been to since I watched Jean-Michel Jarre at Main Road in Manchester. Now,
wild.
That was 1993.
Wowzers. Okay. So
that long. Well,
you're like me, not going out much lately.
Well, I don't really like loads of people and busyness. So I prefer small groups than loads of people. So having agoraphobia and having a bajillion people in a massive stadium. Whoa, that's hard. But it was Yom Xiaojia, so.
Worth it.
And then, but like I say, I sort of like learned that Sophie B. Hawkins was coming to Manchester, and it's like, oh, fantastic, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, definitely up, tickets bought 5 minutes later, you know.
Yeah.
So I went to the concert, and it was fabulous. I mean, it wasn't big. You're only talking about maybe 100, 150 people.
Okay.
You know? And the main thing,
Nice intimate gig.
yeah, and the reason that this is the case is because, do you remember back in the sort of 90s, and there was that problem that Prince had, where he had to go under the name of the artist
Oh
formerly.
yeah, because he had a disagreement with his record label. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Columbia Records / Sony.
Yeah.
So Sophie B. Hawkins has the same problem. She wrote this song called Lose Your Way. It's played on the banjo. And they said, well, we like the song, but to get it to a single, we think we should do it. It should be done with the guitar. And she said, but it's done with the banjo. And they insisted, well, we want it done with the guitar. And she said, no. And they refused to release the album for 8 months. And the main reason that they did so, from what I understand, is because 80,000 people, 80,000 Sophie B. Hawkins fans bombarded Sony with emails for 8 months.
Yeah.
And like a DDoS attack where, a hacker sends 1 billion bots to a website and it basically closes down, they can't use it. We did that to Sony.
But
because
real
this
people.
This is 1998.
Yeah.
Most people didn't have the internet yet. So, and they had to buy a bigger email server because they couldn't use email in the company.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she basically stuck to her guns, and it was released 8 months later with no publicity. The only publicity was what she paid for it. And after that, she went independent. And, so ultimately, it's an artist that stuck to her guns and put the music before the fame. Full on artistic integrity.
Yeah, and if you manage that properly, again, for all its faults, the internet can actually provide a direct conduit between artists and their fans. So someone who's not, a mainstream huge hit, because they are able to connect directly with fans, they can actually have a really successful career. It's funny what you say about the real fans doing something that appears to be a DDoS attack. I do remember a web comic from like the late 90s when being syndicated in newspapers was still important because people bought newspapers. Like, it's absolutely meaningless now. But there was a quite successful web comic, and the guy behind it was trying to get syndicated. And he did, on his fan forum, said, oh yeah, like, I'm trying to get on with this person who's in charge of whether it was the New York Times or something. And he actually mentioned her email is, Joan Smith at NewYorkTimes.com. And tell her that you really want to see it in the paper. And it didn't occur to him that was a bad idea. But what happened is it made this legacy media person really angry because their inbox was bombarded with thousands of emails saying, yes, you should definitely syndicate this comic. So they couldn't use email for a couple of weeks because the number of things that were coming in. And so then I remember him in his newsletter going, everyone, please stop doing this because they're going to fucking kill me. If you don't stop emailing them, they are going to kill me because they can't use email at the moment because the number of you who sent direct emails to them. And I had no idea that was going to happen.
I just need to check something. Did I tell you this story already?
We did talk about Sophie B. Hawkins on another stream. We definitely talked about it.
Okay, maybe that was it then. Maybe I forgot that it happened, and I forgot.
Which again, I'm going to immediately excuse you because I forget shit minute to minute.
Okay, well I'll tell you again if other people heard it.
The Sophie B. Hawkins because it's a good story. I always want to hear good stories, even if I've heard them before. I fucking
Yeah.
love it.
Okay, so what happened was she's doing a performance and she's got this song called "As I Lay Me Down," and so she's singing it, and then she holds the mic out for the crowd because she vibes off the crowd singing her songs with her, you know.
Yeah.
And so she then leans forward so that the fans in the front row, and I was the second person in the queue, so I was right at the front, feeling paranoid because I'm like super tall. I'm thinking,
Yes.
oh, I hope I'm not in the way, but fuck it, you know.
Yeah.
I need to be here, kind of thing. And so so she goes like that, and she then goes down, and she's got the fans singing. She's just floating from one person to another, and then she came round to me, and she's got the microphone like this in my face, and I've got a picture I'll share with you.
Oh yeah.
So this is taken from my webcam, from my phone. So it's like under my chin, chest high. So she's singing, we're singing her song together, and most of the sound is my sound because it's one that's getting the microphone. And she's looking into my eyes and quite possibly my soul, you know, and it's like, you know, so it was quite a moment for me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Am I right? I'm trying to remember. Like her mainstream hit was "Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover."
Yeah. She sang that song. Another point in it, because she seemed to she looked at me several times, you know, and at one point she said she was going to sing something off a new album, and most of you won't have heard it. And then she flicked her hand sort of towards me, and she said, "Oh, yeah, I know you will." Because every song I'm speaking, you know, singing along with it, or, you know, just miming it, you know. So, you know, it's like, oh, what a thing. And then afterwards, she was like in and signing some stuff, and she signed my album. She signed my original 1994, because it's she's doing her it's the 30th anniversary, or is it 20th anniversary of her Whaler album. Would be 30. So yeah, it's the anniversary of Whaler album. She's re-releasing it. I think she's doing like live performance of them songs. And so I'm looking forward to when that happens. So most of the songs in it were from Whaler, but she had some of the new ones. And so I got my, what's it signed? So I've got another picture I meant to show you.
That's all good. You know what? You okay? Oh, nice. Okay, where's another picture? What do we got here?
And I got a selfie.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, that's her hand.
Oh, that's a fucking great picture. That is so good.
Yeah,
that is awesome. You both look great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that is a great picture.
So then I sort of told her a little story, because it was a bit of a, and I had to sort of like, I'll tell you. So basically, what happened was, me and my mum didn't get on, and then I spoke to her a few months before, and so she died last September. And I told her a couple of months, I'd managed to speak to her a few months before. And I said, I'm sorry we fought. And she said, it's too late. You left it too late. As if, she was the one to disown me, but I'd left it too late,
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, towards the end of that call, I said to her, I hope you heal your heart.
Yeah.
And that's one of the words out of a Sophie song. So I told her that quick story. And she said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I said, no, don't be. Because ultimately, that was a good thing for me to say. Her heart obviously did have a problem. But not only that, I mean, although it was sad for me to not have my mum at a point where I'm living my best life, she's the one that missed out on that. She's the one that missed out on me being a happy person.
Yeah.
So, it's like, she's the one that lost out, You know, so I said, don't feel guilty for in any way. You know, it was the right thing to say. It was a great line to use
Yeah.
to illustrate how disappointed I was with her. And so she basically gave me a big hug for that, which was like
Oh,
fucking
well,
big
okay.
hug from Sophie B. Hawkins, you know, on this, you know, on the sympathy level, you know, the emotional connection kind of thing. And then I moved away and other people were getting their things signed. And then I remembered, because I was chatting to someone else, we went to a pub and we had a couple of cocktails of all things. And I suddenly remembered something I wanted to tell her. And so I waited, and then when she moved away, and I said, "Oh, excuse me, Sophie, I got one last thing I just want to tell you, very quick. I was one of the Cracker Army." And she's like, "Wow, really?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "Yes, those are the thousands of people that sent letters to, you know." And she did a high five kind of thing, and instead of just being like a slap kind of thing, it was she'd grab my hand and shook it, you know, and said thank you.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I really made her. I don't know. Maybe I may have made that performance for her. You know, I don't know.
That sounds like a really good connection. Like that sounds really good.
So it was quite an amazing thing for me.
Let's say you're okay. Because I have not been to like a live music thing in ages. But what you made me think of way back in the 90s. The Pet Shop Boys toured Australia, and I went and saw them at the Sydney Entertainment Centre, so huge venue and whatnot. But what I remember of it is the singer from the Pet Shop Boys, Neil Tennant. He seemed genuinely overwhelmed at the massive enthusiasm of the crowd. Like they do a song, and everyone would go wild. And when he was doing, like lead singers often things like, thank you, he genuinely seemed to be going, this is full on. Like you people are just sending waves at me. And I found it a really enjoyable experience to watch this guy on stage. And because the Pet Shop Boys, they're doing this huge production and whatnot. But when the crowd went wild, he seemed genuinely humbled. And he was like,
yeah.
Oh my God, this is so nice that you people are so into this.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
it was a great show.
In a performance at one point, she's sort of getting people to like sing certain elements, you know, to sort of keep it moving with what she's doing as well, and clap in a certain. Excuse me, my phone is gone. I'm going to tell them to go away.
Okay, Dr. Abigail's going to bed. I mean, I think I'm not that far off it, quite honestly. So, although I did just pour myself a drink, so you know.
Turns out it was the wrong number or someone who didn't have a voice.
Oh, okay. Oh God, it's got to the stage where it's like anytime my phone rings, like with a number I don't recognize, because 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, it's going to be a scam call. So I just answer with a weird accent and just go, hello. And then on the occasions when it's a legitimate call, I go, oh, okay. Sorry, apologies for the way I answered, but this is like all calls are scam calls at the moment. So
I have a really funny answer machine message, and it's kind of a Monty Python-y kind of one. It's like, hello, you have reached the Silly Voices Preservation Society. If you have a silly voice, please leave a message after the beep. And the amount of people that start with, hi, is this Laura?
I like that about if you have a silly voice, leave a message. Again, back in the days when answering machines was a thing, I used to have super wacky answering machine messages to the point where when my mum called a wrong number once and she got a weird answering machine, she thought it was me being stupid again. And again, the real kicker, it was to tell me that my grandmother had died. So she left a message on this person's thing saying your grandmother had died. And when I worked out that had happened, I was like, because it was literally and again, kids, This is back in the day when there was a phone book that had names in it. And there was one other person in Melbourne with exactly the same name as me. And I went, yeah, Mum, you called the wrong person. And so then I called him and said, hey, you and I have the same name. My mum left a message on your answering machine saying your grandmother was dead. To the best of my knowledge, your grandmother's not dead. It was a reference to my, and he was just like, oh God, I wondered what the hell that was. That was so friggin' weird. And I went, yeah, that was my mum. And in her defense, I leave ridiculous messages on my answering machine. So when she got an answering thing she didn't understand, she thought it was me. Safa, I reckon answering machines stopped being a thing in the 90s. Yeah, Humphrey God is right, the 2000s. But we still get voicemail. God, I still remember calling a friend in the 90s when I was in Sydney. And I started leaving him a longer message. And I was like, hey, I don't think your answering machine has cut me off yet. How does your answering machine work? And what it turned out is because most answering machines had these really special mini cassettes in them, and they'd only record a message for 90 seconds or something. He had this answering machine that had a full-sized cassette in it, which was like, and they had a C90 cassette, 90 minutes, so 45 minutes each side. And it didn't cut you off, so you could keep talking. And I was on the phone going like, I legit don't know if your machine's still recording. And I left a half-hour message on their answering machine. And he called me back and said, that was the funniest thing ever, because you have tripped out my housemates so much. Because they pressed play on this message, and you talk for ages, and you kept going, and they fast forwarded for like 5 or 10 minutes, and it was still you, and they kept, and they were saying to me, "Is he okay?" And my friend's going, "Yeah, it's a joke. It's just a joke. It's a bit. We do bits." And this whole thing. I hope the LD is going to night 92. Honestly, I am fading as well. I'm going to say good night as well, which again, with the huge apology that I feel like a massive lightweight for going to bed at 11 o'clock on a Friday night instead of 2 a.m. Thank you for coming on, Laura. It's always lovely to catch up with you. Love to see you. And everyone who's been in the chat.
Oh, I've got one last thing to tell you.
Please do throw it in.
And it's actually what reminded me to come onto your channel.
Yeah.
So, we've talked about like Star Wars and stuff.
Yes.
I was watching the news from yesterday,
yeah.
and one of the articles started with TIE fighter jets have clashed with, and I'm like, TIE fighters, it's Thailand, Thailand fighter jets, and so I'm hearing TIE fighter jets. The first opening lines of this thing, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it reminds me of the if you remember, you did a Star Wars cocktail.
Which was your suggestion, the My TIE fighter.
Yes, the My TIE fighter, including the picture that you attributed it to Abigail.
It's a whole thing. All right. Yes, Safa, I'm definitely doing a breakfast baguette. I got my sourdough baguette today from the Woodfrog Bakery. Super fucking yummy. Also, just throwing it out there, there's a Coles supermarket next to the Woodfrog Bakery. I went in there to see, do they have any specials? I got on special a truffle goat cheese. A truffle goat milk cheese, which I've had before. It's friggin' awesome. I got it today. I haven't had it yet, but I'm legit having it this weekend. It's the fucking best. I love truffle as a flavor, but frankly, Safa, what am I watching this weekend? Tomorrow night and Sunday night, I'll be watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds, the new season, because Mrs. Anger and I caught up. She realized she didn't remember season 2, so we rewatched it this week. So we'll be watching season 3, and also new episodes of The Sandman on Netflix. So we'll probably watch some of the weekend we'll be watching Star Trek, and some of it will be watching Sandman.
Do you know, this reminds me of something.
Yeah.
I've been binge watching a TV series myself. I've been watching the original Quantum Leap series.
Oh God! And there was a reboot of Quantum Leap
There's
a couple of
new
years
one.
ago.
Yeah, I downloaded 2 seasons of that. So I thought, you know what? Because it says it links to the original, so it's like, well, I better watch the old one first, and then I watch the new one.
Yeah.
And it occurred to me while I was watching that Scott Bakula's playing Sam Beckett has got to be the dream job for an actor. Because if you think about what an actor does, he plays a character for a season or 5 seasons, or in his case, only, was it 4 seasons of Star Trek Enterprise? You know, whereas the other ones, well, that's one character that he's got to develop over the 4 years.
Yeah.
And when you get movie actors, well, they'll play a different character every time. So you can have someone who can be, you know, a military vet, or they can be a captain or a colonel or something like that, or they can be a scientist, or they can be a doctor, or they can be a sheet metal worker or whatever. You know, they step into the shoes of lots of different people throughout their career. Whereas Scott Bakula, for 5 years of he stepped into shoes every single week.
Yeah, he played a different character every week. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like say, in terms of acting and how you got to portray yourself, that's got to be a dream job. You know, you're playing a role with a completely different set of characters around you, different topics, and
he's interacting off different people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like one the other day I watched was about youth pregnancy. You know, and like, you know, civil rights stuff and all sorts of other things. So, you know, all sorts of things, you know, and you know, I mean, one of the horrible ones was where he goes into the South, American South, in, you know, when black people were second-hand citizens, and he's a black guy.
Yeah.
And, you know, girl gets injured, he takes her to the hospital. And it's a white hospital because that's the nearest one. And the Negro one, because those are the words they used, are like, you know, 80 miles away. Yeah. And the, you know, the lady, because it's like Driving Miss Daisy kind of thing, you know, the lady, the Daisy character, she says, you see this person kind of thing. You know, the girl survives. But, you know, like I say, just weird stepping into all those shoes. So it just reminded me of that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what you're saying. It's probably good for you. Also, Safa was talking about rain. See if that shows up. Look at the rain radar around where I am. It is really severe. So yeah, it's there's maybe going to be a bit of rain.
That just looks like March. That looks like March for Manchester.
Yeah, we
in October. And November and December.
Is Manchester just a lot of rain? Is that what you're saying?
It rains 54% of the time here. So
yeah, we're getting a bit. This weekend is meant to be kind of miserable, cold and rainy. We are in the middle. July is traditionally our coldest month, so it's not all that surprising. Cold, rainy, and shit. But also, then we move into August. We're probably going to start getting actual nice weather within a couple of weeks, like high teens and even into the 20s. It's fucking wild.
We've been hitting 30 here.
Yeah, but it's summer for you as well. And I know that's very hot for you.
Very hot for here, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah. I've been the envy of a number of people because I own an air conditioner.
See, that's the thing.
That's rare in the UK.
Since, I don't know, the 80s, 90s, air conditioning has been the default in Australia. But I'm also old enough to remember when it wasn't the default. So if we had heat waves, people would just be fucking dying for a week or two while it was 40 degrees for a week or two.
I remember a year and a bit ago when I went to Japan, I went to Okinawa for 3 days. So it's a tropical island where the humidity is like 1,000%. And like I got off the plane, and it's, you know, that Christmas, Christmas dinner when you open the oven and the heat because of
and the heat wafts out,
and just get that heat haze. That was walking off the plane.
Yeah.
And the heat never went away. And when you
Yeah.
in Manchester, when you get like a rather rainy day and you're still going to do the shopping, you end up scurrying from one shop to another, rushing so you
Yeah.
don't get too wet.
Yeah.
It was like doing that, but rushing to aircon.
Ugh.
Places, shops with aircon or something. And I remember seeing a guy jogging and thinking, why is this guy not caught fire? And I'm like struggling to breathe and he's running, So,
Yeah, no, the oven door thing, the worst one I ever had was when I went to Vegas one time because my ex had family there. And this was like July. So it was winter in Australia. We had a stopover in Japan, still cold there. And they were going to play, and it was air conditioned the whole way. And then airplane connecting to the airport, all air conditioned, go through customs, blah, 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 blah. And we get there, we meet her family, like her cousins and whatnot. And they go, our car's parked over here. I don't know, we had to walk 100 meters or a couple hundred meters across the car park. And it was legit like a bakery oven. Someone had opened the door and it just was unrelenting. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it. It's just 0% humidity and 40 Celsius. And this is going to kill me. I'm not going to make it to your car. It was, my God, the Vegas desert is fucking brutal.
Yeah, it's going to a canal is the only time I've had sweat go down my back, down my legs, and into my shoes.
Yeah. Oh, what I had that I didn't realize in Vegas, it dries your skin out. And okay, this whole thing, unbeknownst to me, it was drying all my skin out, and my skin was starting to crack, which I didn't realize. And then I went outside and I started sweating, and so salty sweat ran into where my skin was starting to crack. And then I was just in hideous pain. That was terrible. But you cannot be single in Vegas because you need someone to rub lotion into your back or you will die. It's that simple.
Or you get the hose again.
Yes, you rub lotion in your skin or you get the hose again.
Sorry, that was a terrible joke.
No, that is a perfect sign off. Laura, I'm going to be a super lightweight and dip out. Thank you for joining me. You'll take care. I am not streaming tomorrow night, but I'll probably be on Tuesday. But you'll have fun and take care.
Bye,
and I'll
buddy.
see you another time. Bye for now.
You are totally